Do you send out a bunch of birthday cards, and would you love some tips on how to mass produce them? I know some of you like to do individual elaborate ones for certain people that love and keep your cards for others, but sometimes it's nice to just do a whole bunch. So I didn't put this on because I only have one word left, but I just wanted to. So we're just pretending, but look at this fun little faux ribbon. It's just done with a paper. So this is what we're going to talk about today. And I am using, I took out the Joy of Christmas paper. Love this paper, but I'm just down to a few sheets. I was going to do the whole set and we could make just tons of cards. But since I didn't have many sheets left, I pulled out 3 and thought we would just go through the process. So if you're mass producing, I am going to use as my bases. You can see on this card, I used this as my base. On these 2 cards, this is what I have left. So I'm going to do some green, some red. They're going to be this part. And then I've used this. I actually made these for card swaps. I got rid of all my other cards and realized I should have done a video. So I'm going to use this one. And now you get 2 sheets of everything, of all 6 sheets in here. So just think you can multiply this by many times. And also keep in mind, you could do this for non-Christmas cards too, just because we're using Christmas paper. So this is what we're going to start with. I'm going to get out of each of my bases. Let me just adjust here a little. I'm going to get 6 of the green, 6 of the cherry cobbler. So I have 6 card bases of each color. So these are just my half sheet of cardstock scored. I'm going to set those aside. And then I'm going to take, and I'm going to do 2 at a time. So these are going to be my bases. And I'm going to cut at 5 1/4, because we're going to go 1/4 inch down. So this is for my front. I'm going to do both of these at 5 1/4. 5 1/4. These extra little pieces I'm going to use for those little ribbon looks. I'm going to set that aside. And then I'm going to cut these at 4. This is so perfect because with 12 inches wide, cutting it at 4, we're going to get 3 across. So 6. So see, we're going to get 12 out of the 2 sheets of paper. So we will go there, and then we'll go in again at 4. And then we'll take the others. And we'll do these at 4. By doing every step 1 at a time, this is what just really saves in mass producing. So you can see I'm going to just stack up all the things I need. So often you'll make your first card just as your sample, and then you'll know what you need to mass produce. I would be doing 50 of these if I were doing 50 cards. We're going for a dozen right now. But you can see where you could make all your Christmas cards in an afternoon. How fun would that be? And then on this next part, this is also going to be 5 1/4. And it's going to be 2 inches wide. So we're keeping measurements really, really simple. So I have just 1 sheet of this, and I'm going to go 5 1/4. And then this part, I will do 5 1/4. And this could also be used for any little ribbons. Now I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to do these at, well, let's see, I'm going to do 6. I want them 2 inches wide. So I'm going to do 6 inches. And I'm going to come down to, I can't get them to slide together very well here because I'm on camera, you know. And then I'll go down to 4, and then I'll go down to 2. And then I'll take my other piece. Sure, get those out of the way. And again, we're going to cut these in 2 inches apart. So we'll do 4 inches. And 2 inches. Now I've cut all my designer series paper. I do want to point out that we're doing this card the very, very simplest. This is all the layering. On this card, And see, they both look lovely when we put this on. This card, we've changed the measurements a little bit to add one more layer. On my blog post, you'll see what to change if you want to do this. But to just show how speedy we can do this, this is just a no-brainer, and it's just so fun. Now I am going to take all of these, and I'm going to just start attaching them. Well, let's see how. I think I'll just do a few here because you'll get the point. So this is what I do. I start lining them up. Okay, I'm going to do, let's see. Let's do 6 of them, and we'll do them in half. A lot of times I'll do 4. We'll do all this part. So that's 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and I'm going to attach them and get a whole layered group going like this. I'm going to put the greens in one pile and the reds in another. This is shaded spruce and cherry cobbler because I'm going to put them on different color bases. So you can see they're just kind of alternating through here. So visualize as we're doing this, how you could do this with birthday cards and have a whole stack of birthday cards. So just, change your paper and change what you're putting on it, and you're all good to go. Oh, got a little color matching here. Is that an up and down? I'm deciding it's not. Okay, so we'll put that one on. Okay, 6 of them. We'll keep going on this part, because then I'm just going to do a bunch more of these. So I'm just going to have these all stacked. Now, the reason I put this part on first, because you'll see you could put the base card on first. The reason I'm doing it is if I'm way off on my cutting, I would like to trim this before I put it on my other. So that's why I like to work down from a layer just to make sure that they're fine. And I'm not being real fussy, but just in case. Okay, so we'll put that one. See, for instance, this one you can hardly see over. I probably wouldn't mess with that. I'm not going to today, but that's why I like to do it in this order, because it gives me the chance. Okay, I'm going to do one kind of on purpose. See, this one's a little far down, so I could trim that before I put it on. Because sometimes we're just not, exact when we're cutting. So it just makes it really easy. So now I have all of these stacks. So let me know in the comments, do you make a bunch of one card? Here's another one that I would trim. So see, I put those off in another pile because I'm going to trim them before I put them on. But how easy does that make it? Do you make a bunch of cards? How many Christmas cards do you make? That's always fun to know. See, so I must have cut this a little bit shorter, this last batch. But it totally won't matter. Or I could have cut this batch a little longer because you see how they're just off the edge. Now, I could just take a scissors and do this too. I personally don't always do swell. See, that would be fine. That looks good. I'll live with that. So either way, or I can put it back in the slicer. Now what's fun, and I think we'll work on 3 of each. So we're showing varieties, but you'd be doing double. We're going to set those aside for later. Now I am going to take I'm going to match them to the opposite colors. So we're going to do 3 of these. I think it's so fun because then now you can see all your stacks at different points. So we get these done. I'm going to do 3 or 4 of these at a time. And I'm going to put this on. So we have the contrasting color. Okay, so we've got 1, and I'll set those over there. And then we have this one. And this one. And now we're going to do the same with the reds, but we're going to be putting them on the green. So we're just changing the colors on these. So we'll take the 3 of these. So keep in mind, I'm only making half of what I have cut out and started. Just to kind of show, to keep the show going here. I find it really relaxing to mass produce cards, and I do a lot of mass producing because I do a lot of card swaps. I send out lots of birthday cards. I just send out a lot of cards. So I love the whole idea. And even if you make one card that you like, if you have the time to make a second card, it's really nice to have one to keep for the ideas and then one to give away. But this is just a fun little layout. So I have all my base cards done, and now I'm ready to make this part. So we're using the new modern oval punch, and you'll see I punched out 12 of these, and I pre-stamped the 6 with the cherry cobbler. But I'm using it's a stamp set that kind of coordinates with the same paper, but I'm using the words from this stamp set up here. So I thought I would just show a little of the green here. So I go ahead and punch out all the ovals out of scrap paper if I have a bunch of that, otherwise whatever else. And then I'm going to stamp these. I must have a couple more in here because I need 6. I think they're hiding in there. We'll find them later, or they're out on the table. It's all good. Now, what I thought was fun, I wanted to dress this up just a little, but not too much. You know, we often do ribbon this way, but I thought, isn't this a fun idea to just do your paper this way? Make your paper the ribbon. So that's our little added thing on this card. So I am going to take back to this. And let me look for some of these scraps. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Let's see how far I kind of measured, I think about here. I'm guessing it's about 4 so that I can get 12 out of a thing. I'm thinking that would make sense. I'm going to do 4 and 4. And then this way I'm going to just do 1/2 inch. So we'll do that, you know, and it doesn't really matter if they're not totally correct. You might have some other scraps. And now you could also use real ribbon for this. So do whatever you want, but we love to add things. And this one's going to be fatter, but it's okay. I'm going to let it be fatter. So we're going to start with this many. And I have a bunch more here I can make. Then I'm going to take the back. On the back here, I am going to take, I made mine much longer than I needed to. Well, see what I know? Okay, I'm going to work on this card. Let's see, I'm going to work on this card. And then I'm going to put green on there. I'm trying to figure out how I did figure this out. I could almost, I could almost do these in half. Let's see if I can do these in half. Oh, you know, I actually might like to see my ribbon that way. So see, as I go, I'm making some changes right there. This totally works in half. I'm going to do it like this. And then I'm going to pop this up anyway with dimensionals. So this is really cool because I'm just going to make sure I get all these different edges popped right on there. So I don't even have to attach those first. Okay, and I'm going to test this one to make sure it's right. Okay, so I'm doing this one on the red. I like it. This one is a little straighter, and I like that too. Let's attach this one. We'll do this one right here. So you see how ribbons can go every which way? This is also thinner. This was the thicker one I had left at the end. So now that we know this works, let's do the ones for the green here. Let's do some greens. So I'm going to, here is my green. Oh, look, that's interesting because I got that one's quite short. That's okay too, because I'm going to just put that one up there at the end. So I'll attach these. I'm just going to make sure it's attached on there. Whoops, that was not what I had in mind. We'll try that again. I'm going to attach this so I know they won't come apart. And then I will do another one. This was the green, and this was the piece. So I'll do another green. So you see, I can do a whole bunch of these now. I need my other green right here. Flip that in half. put it right here. I can always trim the edges or do anything else that if I want to make them flagged edges. Okay, so now I can make a whole bunch of these, and then I can take these all off. So we have this one. Oh, I meant to put red on these. How about that? You know what? I did mean to put red on these. I'm going to decide where I like this best. Okay, I like it on here best. Oh, isn't that interesting how we can switch? Because I really did want red on here. Let's do another one then. While we're at it, we can just keep playing. I think sometimes this is how we end up with bits and pieces too, but I just love it because then you have starters for other cards. But playing around, one of the wonderful things about mass producing is you often start seeing other ideas as you're going. So your early cards aren't the same as your later cards, but it just keeps it all fun and interesting because we just like to play. So how cool is that? So this is the very, very basic one. And where did let's see, this is looking for the stepped up one. It's already disappeared on me that I showed earlier. But know that you can do these. The stepped up one is like this. And then, oh, okay. We'll do this one. So we have both. You'll find both on my blog along with all the measurements, everything else, everything goes right there. And then you can also add, if you want to add some little jewels, which always adds just some little sparklies. But what a great way to mass produce your Christmas cards, get them done, and just be able to send more than you even had thought. So thanks. This is the second of 12 weeks of Christmas. So make sure you've subscribed to my channel and you catch all 12. And on my mailing list, I'm sending out PDFs for totally different projects for 12 weeks of Christmas. So make sure you're on that too. Thanks. See you later. Karen Titus.